Oh, shall we start?
Mhm.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for watching our debate on technology and how it affects the future of special education and ABA. My name is Ashley, and I will be introducing the overall topic and each of the pros and cons. Jen will be covering the pros of technology in special education and ABA, and Vanessa will be discussing the cons. Michelle will go over all the ethical tie-ins and along with a visual aid, and Rachel will be the fielder concluding our debate. First, we would like to give our definition of technology when used in the field of ABA and special education. We define this as any time electronic device is used to aid in teaching, demonstrating, or training any individual. Examples of technology include, but are not limited to, the iPad, gamification, Skype, assistive technology, and computer-assisted technologies. Technology is continuously growing and improving in all areas, and the use of technology in special education and ABA has become a very controversial topic. Many different aspects play a role in how often and how much technology affects special education and ABA settings. My first question for Jen and Vanessa is, what effects does technology have on an individual's well-being when it is used for special education and ABA purpose? Is technology often harmful or helpful in this aspect? We will first hear from Jen.
Technology can help improve the quality of life for many different types of people across many different types of disabilities. In an article by Wise in 2012, it is stated that a primary objective is the maximization of a child's ability to function independently, which is in many ways determined by the ability to perform essential daily tasks, including those involving hygiene, mobility, social interaction. Technology can help to teach that child how to function more independently. Many individuals can be taught self-help skills with the use of gamification. Gamification turns things that may seem boring into more of a game format so that it's fun to learn the tasks. This can be done with many different types of task analyses, such as brushing teeth, cooking, or showering. A client who has problems with wanting to brush his teeth can learn how to do so in a fun way by using an animated character that brushes his teeth with different materials. This turns a mundane task into something fun and increases the appeal of brushing teeth for that client. A client could learn self-care skills by taking care of an animated animal or creature on an application. They could feed the animal, shower it, walk it, put it to sleep, or even play with it. This shows the importance of doing their own self-care skills and puts a fun twist on how to learn those skills. An article by Morford 2014 states, "We collectively label as gamification refer to efforts to redesign the life activities by drawing inspiration from methods in game design. Some of these activities include socially significant behavior change, such as improving health-related behavior, decreasing energy use, and improving technologies for teaching and learning." Another type of technology that could be used is telehealth. Telehealth is technology that can be in many different formats, but that is used to help improve the communication of health, education, and medical services. These services can help families that are located in areas that do not have behavioral therapy get some sort of training, feedback, or communication about possible programs and interventions that can be put into place. In an article written by Kaplan and Laituka in 2008, they discussed the benefits of using telehealth services. Potential benefits of telehealth and telemedicine include greater availability of services and access to healthcare providers, including specialty services that may not be located near to those needing them, reduced disparities in healthcare accessibility, less travel time for both patient and clinician, lower costs, and quality improvements presumed to derive from access to more timely and accurate data and improved information flow available anytime or anyplace. Many families that are already receiving services could have parent meetings, follow-up meetings, and conferences via telehealth instead of having to travel to centers that may be located many miles or even states away. A third type of technology that can be used is the Strongest Family Smart website. This website helps to train parents on how to improve their skills in order to help the child that is showing behavioral concerns. The trainings are done via the internet or over the phone so that the parents can conduct interventions in the privacy and comfort of their own home. The Strongest Family Smart website intervention is hypothesized to improve parenting skills, reduce child disruptive behavior, reduce parental distress, and improve family function. These results will likely inform subsequent investigations, public policy, and early treatment of childhood disruptive behavior problems. Now on to...
The use of I was listening.
Okay.
Michelle, the use of technology to improve the quality of life for individuals falls in line with the ethical principles and codes. When we actually do this, I have to move my computer because I'm not looking at the screen. Is it awkward? Can you guys tell I'm reading off a script? Okay, let me know so that when we rewatch it, Autonomy and the pursuit of excellence are two ethical principles carried out when technology is implemented with individuals with disabilities. According to Bailey and Birch, 2011, respecting autonomy refers to promote his or her own independence or self-sufficiency. By using technology or gamification to increase self-help skills, these individuals are improving their independence and daily living skills. Ethical Code 209, Treatment, Intervention, and Efficacy is also applied to this pro of technology. Section A of Code 209 states that clients have the right to effective research treatments that have been validated as having short and long-term effects to benefit clients and society. As Jen referenced in her articles, technology such as gamification and telehealth both provide short-term and long-term improvements for individuals.
So, con 1. Technology can harm or leave individuals without any improvement in their quality of life due to a lack of informed consent, inability of the individual to use the technology, and dependency on technology. First and foremost, an individual may consent to using a technological device, such as an AAC, for an individual who is unable to verbally communicate. However, if the device is left on a table, usually without a password, then it is open and available to be accessed by others. In this situation, others have access to personal information about the individual simply because of the inconvenience to have the device locked when it is their means of communication. Secondly, the individual may not be able to use the technology independently, or if they are taught, they may only know how to control certain aspects, but still require assistance from others for other components. When it comes to technology, it is the responsibility of more than one person to be knowledgeable about the use of the device in order to make it more accessible and personalized to the individual's lifestyle. According to research conducted by Kaplan and Litwaka, I don't know how to say it. We have to figure that out. Individuals may feel overloaded by information and the actual usability of the device. Not all devices are user-friendly, and often individuals are left feeling more overwhelmed by all the specifics of the technology. It is important for individuals that use technological devices for communication purposes to have an easy mode of communication. If a team has determined that an individual is engaging in problem behaviors because of their frustration related to communication barriers, they may offer the use of an AAC. However, if the individual finds it still more efficient to engage in the behaviors to get what they want, then the AAC will leave the individual and their family in the same circumstances as were previously. Lastly, the individuals that use these devices may become so heavily dependent on these devices that they lose so many independent skills. This raises many ethical concerns surrounding the intent of those who decide to implement these devices with certain individuals, and what is the actual end result. The goals behind the use of these devices may fail to acknowledge the fact that individuals become highly dependent on their use. The objective of a variety of services is to alleviate feelings of dependency and to allow for individuals to function as independent beings. When the individual becomes dependent on the device, they may lose other skills or other backup or alternative ways to deal with the situation. For example, if the device does not work, the individual may feel almost lost because they were so dependent on the device's usability.
In reference to technology harming individuals or leaving them with little or no improvement of life, core principles and codes of responsibility are violated. As behavior analysts, we hold a responsibility to our clients to provide responsible research-based decisions to improve the quality of life in our clients. When researching technology to use, the purpose of technology needs to be kept in mind. The most important thing is to improve our clients' quality of life. As Vanessa referenced Kaplan and Litwika, some technology may not have the best intentions for its clients as its purpose. If the BCBA is unsure that this device will work, they need to provide consent to parents that the technology may or may not work, which is not always done, so it violates Code 2.02 responsibility.
Our next topic will discuss technology in a financial aspect. When working with children on the autism spectrum or in the special education system, you will come in contact with individuals on all different levels of social economical status. Does an individual's financial status play a role in how technology can affect their experience in ABA or special education? Is technology only available and beneficial for individuals with a higher social economical status? Jen will start by discussing the financial benefits.
Financially, many different types of technology are reasonable, or if they're expensive initially, would not require any updates or additional costs. One of these examples is a smartboard. Smartboards can be installed in classrooms, offices, conference rooms, or group therapy rooms. Smartboards use technology to teach, do programs, and have interaction with students. In a quote from the Smart Technologies Incorporated website, they stated, "Smart's multiple free services and resources, including professional development, software upgrades, and technical support, eliminate many ownership costs, making total cost of ownership very affordable." I do realize that a company is going to speak highly of itself and its own website, but I personally have seen and used a smartboard. In the classroom, we were able to incorporate the smartboard into an art station where the students could draw on the board, erase, make shapes, etc. We were able to do all of our daily morning circle time on the smartboard, which included calendar, matching names to pictures, naming colors and shapes, the weather, dressing a bear for the weather, and what we were going to pick for lunch that day. Another type of technology that is starting to become more prevalent in schools and therapy centers are tablets and laptops. Laptops and netbooks have become a low-cost option for the classroom. Students who struggle with a pen and pencil find new opportunities to express themselves on the computer. And that is a quote from Classroom Aid 2013. Laptops and tablets are very useful. We had a tablet in the classroom that had DTT Trainer on it, which was a free application. With the app, we could download sets of cards to work with individual students. The tablet also had free writing applications, free counting applications, free reading applications, and of course, games for reinforcement. These options can help students who may struggle in writing and communication. There are many low-cost programs that can be personalized on tablets or computers for each individual. There is a free communication application for the iPad that is called Sonoflex that helps students to learn basic colors, items, foods, animals, actions, etc. There can be purchases made on the application in order to increase the amount of information that the child can communicate. There is also an app called ProvoQuote, and although the initial cost is around $250, the benefits are well worth the cost. The app can be customized for the individual, there can be real-life pictures taken and added, there can be voice recordings added to the tiles in order to aid in the process of teaching the individual how to communicate with the device. Gamification can also be low cost. Low-cost options of gamification could be PowerPoints, video recordings that show task analyses, chains, social stories that are made on BoardMaker, or things that are made using Microsoft Word. Making things seem like fun can help the individual feel like learning how to communicate is more like a game and less like work. All it takes is a creative mind in order to turn a mundane task into something fun for a student to do.
The use of technology that is financially reasonable or cost-effective shows the use of core principles and ethical codes. Core principle of benefiting others can be referenced with this pro of technology. As Jen stated, computers might be a more simple, quicker way for individuals to communicate or complete work. This is beneficial to the client as well as the family or other caregivers and professionals that work with the individual. This also shows the use of ethical principle 209, treatment intervention and efficacy once again. Technology is a great way to improve treatment intervention and provide efficient interventions for the individuals. Section C of Code 209 states that professionals should seek research-based interventions but also look for efficient and cost-effective interventions. Simple updates or improvements in technology are often cost-effective and efficient for individuals.
The versatility of technology today can have a significant impact on a family's income. Technology can be very expensive to purchase. It may require updates or additional add-ons to use the item fully, and impacts who is eligible to receive technological advances or information via technology. First, technology is an ever-growing industry, and of course, the advances being made come at a cost. Researchers such as Kaplan and Litwika, 2008, stated that cost-effectiveness of technological devices has not been well established, which means research has not found technology as a means of effectiveness for an individual's deficit or situation. Which means research has not found technology as a means of effectiveness for an individual's deficit or situation is cheaper than other methods. Okay, I have to fix that sentence because it doesn't make sense. This only reiterates the fact that technology can additionally impact the financial strain a family may already endure due to caring for a child or individual with special needs, leaving a family possibly better helped but definitely at a price, or in some cases, as I mentioned previously, no better off in terms of their quality of life, and now with a little more of a financial burden. Furthermore, technology is always changing, becoming better and more efficient in its use. For this reason, families may also have to bear the weight of upgrading their technology, whether that be the actual device, software, hardware, and/or applications on the device itself. According to NAM in 2015, when examining the use of assistive technology and their associated costs, people often tend to overlook the cost of upgrading. In addition, NAM 2015 goes on to mention that there's often a lack of funding allocated to individuals that require assistance to meet the ever-increasing cost of assistive technologies. In my personal experience, an iPad was used for my client just stopped working, and the warranty on the device had expired. Unfortunately, the family could not afford a new device, but was fortunate enough to have our center cover the cost for them. There are many situations like this where the families are not so fortunate. As a result of these increasing costs and limited funding or support with the financial strain related to technology, we go back to the first point, that often individuals are left with little to no improvements in their quality of life because the technology that once helped stop working and their family could not afford a new device, and as a result, the individual is left dependent on others in the face of new assistive technological support. Lastly, income greatly impacts the amount and quality of information a family has access to. Families may struggle to receive information regarding different methods or strategies to use with their child because financially they cannot afford to. According to Kaplan and Litwika in 2008, income is highly related to the amount of internet a family or individual uses. This means that families who have low incomes can only afford low-grade or versions of internet connections, meaning they fall into what Kaplan and Litwika call an information gap. In addition, some individuals may not be eligible financially to receive assistive devices. So not only are families struggling to receive information that provide full support in understanding ABA or other services that may be offered or beneficial to their child's needs, they're also removed from waiting lists to receive devices because of the cost. This has a great impact on the quality of life that is experienced by not only the child's family, but of course the child.
The use of technology can be violations of core ethical principles of being truthful and Code 8.04 media presentations and media-based services. As Vanessa stated, many forms of technology offer free trials or limited free access to a program and require purchases to run the whole program or update to newer versions. Oftentimes, these programs and costs are not covered by services and come from the family's pocket. According to Code 8.04, Section A, behavior analysts are required to obtain knowledge and inform families of limitations and security of media-based services. If a behavior analyst has not maintained knowledge of current technology, they have violated the principle of being truthful as well as Ethical Code 8.04.
Our last argument topic will cover technology and its impact on social acceptance and inclusion. In today's society, technology is used every day for communication and social aspects, from social media to communicating through emails. Many people use technology as a way to keep in touch or meet new people. Can this social aspect be carried over into special education and ABA to help individuals communicate and socialize more effectively, or does it play the opposite effect and socially isolate them? Once again, we will hear from Jen first with the pros and then Vanessa with the cons.
Because technology can be individual and customized to the different needs of each person, it has an important societal impact which can leave people who need to use the technology feeling included in society. Many different types of technology are easily accessible for individuals, and they can be modified easily. Many of the iPad or iPhone applications can be customized by taking live pictures, videos, and recording live audio. iPhones and iPads are everywhere in society, and a person that needs to use the technology would not feel odd taking it out to use. This is stated in an article by Leroy in 2008. The second enhancement that images, that's messed up, I need to fix that. The second enhancement is that images shown using the smartphone can be easily customized based on the needs, interests, and preferences of each child, but also for the groups of children without extra effort. This can also be true for laptops and individuals that may have to carry with them to type out information that they want to share with others. It is important to not only make the person feel like they are normal in a society that seems to judge anyone who is different, but we must also be sure to customize the technology we have access to. Customization helps significantly when looking at each individual. Not everyone is the same. In an article written by Pellissiari in 2010, this point is clear. Cognitive and communicative abilities among individuals with ASDs may range significantly. One student with autism may experience difficulty in expressive language and social abilities, while another individual with autism may struggle in imitation and receptive language. In order to create an optimal learning environment for individuals with ASDs, individual educational and instructional plans are essential for academic and behavioral success. I have worked with many different individuals that have been all over the autism spectrum. Some individuals had no communication skills at all, and they use aggression to communicate. The first steps in reducing aggression that seems to be caused by a lack of communication is to add some sort of communication. One particular individual was taught sign language signs, he had only acquired 3 by the time insurance cut his funding. But he was being taught how to communicate using his iPad with an app on there that was customized for his particular needs. I have also worked with individuals that were extremely high functioning but lacked social skills. By using technology such as computers with a game that is similar functioning individuals also liked, Minecraft, we were able to teach appropriate social skills. In an article by Leroy from 2008, they state that the second enhancement is that images shown using the smartphone can easily be customized based on the needs, interests, and preferences of each child, but also for groups of children without extra effort. If there is a social group or a group of 2 individuals, technology can be easily tweaked in order to fulfill the needs of that group. One example would be when using an app to do discrete trials. You can easily customize the app to adhere to the group's goals instead of individuals' goals. An article by Seal says we need to expand our thinking beyond that of how to comply with the rules towards how to meet the needs of students with disabilities within the local context that students and practitioners are working. In order to fully include the individual and make them feel as they are a part of the whole of society, we need to think outside of the box. There are many different ways technology helps us to make individuals feel included.
Technology is now used in various places and settings. Individuals that use technology for improvement or independence in skills are using it in homes, schools, and public places. Jen mentioned that iPhones, tablets, computers, etc. are all customizable, widely accepted, and individualized for the person using the device. By making these devices individualized and customizable, the use of core principle of benefiting others and ethical code 409, least restrictive and prior procedures are being adhered to. Clients are benefited by being able to use technology that increases their skills while also making client devices personalized. Ethical Code 409 is being practiced by this pro of technology because individuals are being given and recommended technology that will make their learning and skill improvement portable and be able to use in multiple environments, therefore allowing individuals to access multiple learning environments.
Technology is flawed and its inconsistency affects social inclusion and the right to privacy. First off, technology is faulty. It can glitch or stop working at any time and sometimes with no solution readily available. When it comes to technology, we're often reactive to the glitches and problems that arise, which only makes situations more difficult to handle. For example, when a child finally independently exhibits a behavior such as tying their shoes for the first time, and they worked for the iPad, their instructor goes to hand the child the iPad. Unfortunately, the iPad stops working after 5 seconds and the child becomes frustrated and exhibits a problem behavior. In these situations, we're often left scrambling to find a new reinforcer. An important point that Perry and Baer 2009 discussed from their research is that we often spend time and effort fixing devices or computers, which ultimately takes away from our child the services we provide them and the resources that we can use to enrich their environments. Of course, it is not easy when technology glitches, but it is both our dependency and our clients' dependency on these devices that make their glitches less manageable to deal with. Next, technology can significantly impact feelings of inclusion and normalcy for an individual. AAC devices can have an effect on an individual's sense of social inclusion. For example, when using a device that uses the vocal output on the device as a means of communication, the exchange component of a social interaction is often lost. When the individual types in a response or comment, they may not be near anyone, so they're not having an exchange. Rather, they're just asking or talking without anyone really listening. This can have a serious influence on an individual's self-esteem as they may feel excluded socially or find it more difficult to feel socially accepted. Now, this is something that is just part of using a device, and of course, removing communication does not help. However, low-tech devices such as PECS teaches the initiation and exchange of communication, according to Charlotte Christie, Carpenter, LeBlanc, and Kellett in 2002. As previously mentioned, technology can glitch or stop working, which only makes situations, as stated above, even more problematic for an individual's social experience. Who is eligible to receive devices or who is allowed to use the devices can segregate people. Unfortunately, some families may not be able to afford the cost of a device, as I mentioned previously, and other families may not meet certain criteria put in place to be eligible for one. Additionally, a family may have religious or ethnic beliefs that prohibit the use of these devices. Due to religious and/or personal beliefs, an individual and their family may feel they are excluded from information on upcoming and developing strategies or services for individuals with special needs. These are only 3 of a list of ways individuals and their families can feel excluded. Research in this area indicates the lifestyle that has become technology and how technology is designed is largely influenced by our values and intentions for how and why the technology should be used, as stated by Kaplan and Litwaka in 2008. Often the individuals making technological advances do not consider all of the variables, such as income and ethnic background, which affect feelings of social inclusion. And the last and final downfall to technology is the level of privacy that can be obtained. Of course, technology can be encrypted with passwords or passcodes, but certain devices or technologies don't allow for the use of them. The reality of the situation today is that most medical information is simply clicks away. Resnick in 2001 stated that the level of security is not what it used to be, with individuals able to hack and access pertinent and private documents and reports. A minor example is communicative devices that have personalized information on them. The devices, like I said before, are usually not locked as they serve as communication purposes, which means that the information is accessible to anyone who can swipe to open the screen. Ethically, an individual may have to offer up their right to privacy in order to communicate. The level of privacy within technology in all environment is not as secure as we may think.
Technology has the ability to malfunction in many situations. Sometimes glitches occur and the device stops working, the battery suddenly dies, or the sound may not work at all. All of these occurrences violate ethical core principle of according dignity. Individuals that use a device for self-help or communication may feel unable to represent themselves or unable to communicate if their devices are constantly malfunctioning. Ethical Code 2.06, maintaining confidentiality, is also at risk when using technology. Sometimes there is very personal information on individuals' devices, and it could be easily accessed or hacked, leaving the individuals feeling vulnerable. As Vanessa stated from Resnick 2001, people can be just a few clicks away from accessing personal records and private information. Technology that is used along with personal information runs a high risk of violating confidentiality.
So, are we going to go, I have it on there as visual aids, but we're going to skip over that, right? And then we'll just talk about that before Sunday. Is that right? Michelle?
Yeah, sorry.
No, that's okay. Do you see what I did in
let
the
me see what
thing?
you're going to say, and then I'll look at like the thing and see if it would make sense for like as you're talking, like we can pull up and then I'll add into the visual, or if we should just talk about it right after or right before.
Okay, all right.
I don't know
so
the
I'll
best
just
part
start.
to put it in, you know?
Yeah, that's not a problem. So I'll just start the summary.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And said, throughout our debate today, we have provided a substantial amount of information to support and also to reject the use of technology for individuals with special needs. While addressing the topic of quality of life, Jen delivered a compelling case in support of technology. Technology such as gamification provides the opportunity for individuals to improve self-care skills and promote independence through the use of animated modeling and interactive practice. Individuals are also able to improve quality of life through telehealth systems by providing healthcare, behavioral services, and access to parent training websites to those who would be otherwise too distant to receive proper services. This also serves to improve continuity and generalization of treatment services. The core ethical principle of respecting autonomy is not only promoted but expected to be enhanced through the use of this type of technology. Arguing a few solid points, Vanessa addressed the cons of technology for improving quality of life to be increased dependence and helplessness. As much as we expected these individuals to understand how to use the devices and systems, they can be quite difficult to master, requiring continued assistance from another person. She also referenced system malfunction or failure. We cannot simply assume that technology will work every day without a glitch or an error. How will the individual respond in a situation without their primary source of communication or function? Dependency upon another individual or even upon a device itself certainly does not promote independence, but further subjects the individuals into helplessness. Addressing the financial aspect of technology was our second subtopic of debate. Through personal experience and providing research to support, Jen stated that although the initial cost may be high, costly technology may have limited costs over time. I said that word a lot. Technology such as smartboards provides free resources and training to anyone with access to the technology. Also mentioned was the fact that these available technologies, tablets, and laptops are portable and personalized to fit the needs of the individual learner with free applications such as Sonaflex. Making a compelling argument, Vanessa found that more than not, most families cannot afford the initial cost of these many technologies. And those who can, be it through funding or lifetime savings account, fail to foresee the cost of upkeep with the required system updates, upgrades, and everyday wear and tear or accidental breaks. Research has not yet been completed on the true cost effectiveness of many of these programs and devices, so how can we be sure that the benefits are worth the costs? Although these devices and programs are not yet widely accessible to the general population and too costly for low-income families to afford on their own, are these individuals truly being provided the most effective treatment? These questions and financial requirements may be enough to deter families from the use of devices in order to save time and money and provide effective treatment as soon as possible. Lastly, we addressed the issue of technology's impact on an individual's societal acceptance and social inclusion. We heard Jen express her support by explaining how devices are, for the most part, individualized, portable, and applicable to multiple environments or situations in society. How many people sit at a restaurant with their iPhone next to their plate? How often do you see parents giving their children iPads in order to keep them busy in the supermarket? Society has adapted to the great advances in technology, and individuals using these types of devices are no longer singled out and easily noticeable. In almost any setting, individuals using a communicative system can rely on technology to keep them included, whether it be ordering from a menu or purchasing something at the mall. She makes a great point by acknowledging that the person receiving the interaction does not need extensive prerequisite knowledge when using devices, which would be the case if someone were trying to communicate using sign language. Technology allows for such easy adaptations within its basic programming that there is little room for error. However, once again, we are reminded of the pitfalls of technology in general. Glitches and unforeseen technical issues are bound to arise, most likely leaving the individual without an appropriate communication method. Research supported this argument and furthermore added that an incredible amount of time is spent trying to access or fix a device, leaving less time for instruction or training. Again, this type of dependency and helplessness may affect one's ability to react appropriately in a social situation when their relied upon technology has unexpectedly failed. Even more dangerous, these devices contain sensitive personal information. With so many individuals requiring access to just one device, this information is not or is often not password protected. Once again, we are reminded that technology, although it can promote independence and inclusion, can many times put the individual in a dangerous or compromising position. So then I had a sign off, but we can change it if we want. So.
That's good. I like that you wrote that.
The ending?
Yeah.
We hope you
You
enjoyed
can-
our debate.
Take it off like broadcasting.
Okay.